Deco has landed in London, but he did not go alone. He brought with himself Barca's head of scouting, making a true definition of a heavy machinery operation on the horizon. The target is Joao Pedro. The 24-year-old Chelsea striker is one of the top 3 names on Hansi Flick's wish list to replace Robert Lewandowski, alongside Julian Alvarez and Harry Kane. This is FC Barcelona Central, and if you want to stay in touch with everything Barcelona and the Blaugrana, make sure you subscribe to the channel and help me reach the 1,000 subscribers mark. This isn't Deco's first trip to London either. He was at Wembley on May 16 watching Pedro at the FA Cup final against Manchester City and already sat down with the agent. Barca internal affairs estimate that they can pry Joao Pedro away from Stamford Bridge for over just 70 million euros. Chelsea has publicly claimed that the Brazilian is a complete untouchable, but now the leverage that Chelsea has officially failed to qualify for the Champions League, and with Xabi Alonso taking over, the London club might need to balance the books, and Deco is looking for any opportunity to snatch him up before the World Cup begins, keeping in mind that he was one of the big snubs for the Brazilian national team. But what happens if Chelsea closes the door? Well, the idea from the very beginning seems to be Julian Alvarez, La Araña. Atletico Madrid seems to have some dispute with him, not actually rejecting or refusing to sign a contract renewal, an offer from Cholo Simeone, and some media people in Madrid expressed that he wants out. Barca has a strict financial ceiling of 100 million euros for the Argentine, and to lower that massive price tag, there was a rumor of a plan that Deco would include Ferran Torres on a swipe deal. The Tiburon has 1 more year in his contract until 2027, but the problem is that Ferran will have to agree to leave, and if he refuses or try to block this trade, he could eventually walk away for free in 2027. If Atletico refuse to take Ferran, Barca will have to take the big money tag on Julian Alvarez. But the soap opera is still up in the air in regards of who is going to be Barca's next number 9. Speaking of Atletico Madrid, they are actively trying to take players from out of a locker room. A Spanish newspaper, Diario Sport, revealed that the Atletico president Enrique Cerezo initially called Joan Laporta for Marc Casado. Diego Simeone has been obsessed with Marc Casado since last summer, even calling the midfielder personally to tell him that he has that garra and sacrifice that is the perfect colchonero DNA. Casado had a unique year under Hansi Flick with very few minutes, and Barca actually wants to renew his contract just to protect his market value or secure him, higher transfer. But Casado already responded to Atletico Madrid saying that no, it's a total rejection. The kid could told the board that despite his lack of minutes, he wants to stay and fight until the death to fulfill his childhood dream of succeeding with Barcelona. Total respects for his loyalty. While we look for a striker, we can talk about a massive piece of business from last summer. Remember Pau Victor? Well, Barcelona sold him to Sporting de Braga for 12 million. Well, the 24-year-old Catalan just wrapped up a historic season in Portugal. 17 goals and 6 assists across 56 games. He went from playing for Barca Athletic to absolutely conquering La Primera Liga and starring in a place in a very big European competition. His value has completely shattered his 12 million price tag on transfer market. Teams in the Premier League and Series A has been contacting Braga with massive offers. Selling him was a financial necessity, but it proved once again that players trained in La Masia are elite currency across Europe. And lastly, for today's video, we have to address what's happening, the absolute chaos over in Madrid, because the political foundation of our eternal rivals are shaking. For the first time in 20 years, Real Madrid will actually hold presidential elections. The club's electoral commission has officially accepted the candidacy of a 37-year-old businessman, Enrique Riquelme, meaning the 79-year-old Florentino Perez will have to face a real vote from the club members. Perez called these elections, looking for a desperate show of support after a terrible season. Real Madrid finished second in La Liga, 8 points behind Barca, making their second consecutive year without a major trophy. In Madrid's last 5 electoral cycles, spanning from 2009 all the way to 2025, Florentino Perez ran completely unopposed. Now the members finally get a choice. Well, Riquelme submitted his candidacy in person in Valdebebas, declaring that members shouldn't be afraid of change. Perez campaigns fired back with hanging a massive banner near the Bernabeu, listing the 7 cities where Madrid won the Champions League under his watch, stamped with the slogan, "A lot of history to make, Florentino 2026." But here is where this gets explosive for next season. Álvaro Arbeloa took over from Xabi Alonso back in January, already confirmed that he's leaving the club. If Perez, Florentino Perez wins the re-election, Jose Mourinho has a verbal agreement to return as the manager. The special one is lined up for a 2-year contract with a 3rd optional year that triggers automatically if he wins La Liga. Even though the official announcement is completely frozen until the members cast their votes in the next 2 weeks, Mourinho has already drawn a tactical hit list for Florentino. He's already demanding a complete control over the transfer market, the removal of certain staff, and a massive squad overhaul. He wants 2 world-class center backs, a backup right back, and a creative midfield maestro, and a ruthless defender anchor to bring Steel back to the pivot position. Real Madrid is panicking because after 2 years of total Barcelona dominance, they are preparing to bring back one of the most toxic weapons to stop Barca. The war lines for next season are officially being drawn. Deco is in London, or it's been in London, or it's been talking to people in London. Julian Alvarez is stalling Madrid. Marc Casado is fighting for his spot in Barcelona. The summer soap opera has officially begun. This is FC Barcelona Central. Please help me reach the 1,000 subscribers marks so I can keep this channel growing. Until next time, and as always, Visca Barça.